Last time I talked about my flea market buy was when I talked about that Aloris tool post, which I plan on putting on the Hendy. And the seller told me to come back because he says he thinks he had more holders for it. Well, not only did he have more holders, but he had another tool post. So I also picked up this tool post that he had. This is a DTM tool post, and this one's a model TP65A, and it says right on here that it is made, it says, by Dovetail Manufacturing. So DTM is for Dovetail Manufacturing Company of Clifton, New Jersey. Well, guess where Aloris tool posts are made? That's right. So if you look at this tool post is very reminiscent of an AXA Aloris. It's the wedge style, not the piston style, which is the better of the two styles to have. It's in good working order. My understanding is that this is some employees that may have left Aloris and went on their own, and I believe this company is now out of business. But this is a nice tool post. This is better than import quality, and more importantly, all of the dimensions are correct to the AXA, meaning any AXA holders will work with this tool post, and vice versa. So let's see what I scored for holders. So I did well. I've got, let's see, this is a DTM H65-1A. Looks like a straight holder. This is a DTM H65-1. Okay, so last time I was down here we were going over the tool holders that I picked up, and the battery was dying, so I ended up figuring out that with the DTM tool post, I ended up getting 5 holders. H65-1As. These are just straight tool bit holders. Got 3 of those. Excuse me. And then an H65B6A. That's a boring bar holder. And an H65B8A. That's a larger boring bar holder. So that's pretty good. And then on the BXA for the Aloris, he ended up getting me, let's see, this is just a straight tool holder, the BXA ones. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. This one's a little rough. 5 BXA ones and a BXA 10. Now, since I picked these up, I had gone back because he had told me that he actually had the little thumb screw here, the thumb wheel for this one. He had made one up. He's a machinist by trade too, so it was easy for him to make one up. So he was kind enough at no additional charge to make me up not 1 but 2 new thumb wheels for this holder. And he mentioned to me that he has located a cutoff tool holder, which is what I was hoping that would be nice to round out my my ensemble here, because of course on the tool post itself when I bought it there was a boring bar holder. So I've got a boring bar holder, and now I've got oh, this BXA 10, by the way, I don't know if you noticed, but this is actually, it's a knurling tool, but on the other side here it's got a looks like provision to hold another straight cutting tool. So assuming you just flip it around. That's interesting. Now that I'm looking at it, this holder right here has a pretty weak looking piece of garbage on there for a nut, so that's probably why he made 2. So I'll take that off. Alright, so that's works out nicely. This one goes on here. So I'll be ready to rock and roll as far as my tool post and tool holders go. So this BXA one, obviously, I want to put this on the Hendy, and then if I decide to keep the Atlas, I'll put the DTM, which is comparable to the AXA series size. That'll go on the Atlas. And while I was there picking up that stuff, I went to another vendor. He had some machinist tools. I picked up this Nicholson file. Looks to be in good shape. Got that for $1. Can't beat that with a stick. He had several more. I actually went back this morning to buy more, and all of his tools were gone. Somebody came in and just bought everything in one swoop. Tool dealer. But when I was there buying that file, actually the reason why I bought the file was to make it an even $5 for that and this, which at the time, this would be good. I don't know if you ever watch any of Tubalcain's videos, but Tubalcain does a series of machine shop videos, and one of the series that he likes to do is he calls it the mystery tool, where he has basically a video episode where he shows a tool and he invites everybody to guess what it is, and then eventually he'll have a follow-up video and say what it is. Well, this is one of those things that probably would have made a good mystery tool candidate, because I did not know what it was. But what ended up happening was I was fishing through a box of stuff, and I came across, let me get this off, came across this device, came across this in the box, okay, took a look at it, realized it looked like it was pretty precision made, and I noticed that it had this block on it with these numbers on it which looked like they correspond to angles, and this says made exclusively for Bridge City Tool Works, Portland, Oregon, by Veritas, made in Canada. And I think Veritas is Latin for truth. So I think what they were maybe shooting for is that their company is true, as in, like, you know, when something runs true. But anyways, found this in the box. Got the guy to sell it to me for $3. Fished around in the box a little more. Came across this. Realized, because it's labeled Veritas, that it may very well be something that's supposed to go with this. So he made me pay him $2 more for this. And then I got him to throw in a file and make it $5. So it was actually $5 with this, but I got him to throw in the file anyway. So, for those of you who don't know what this is a precision sharpening jig for chisels, and if you have a hand plane and you want to take the blade out of the hand plane for sharpening, that's what you would use this for. I'll show you. Let me grab a wood chisel. So I really don't have a use for this. I do some woodworking, but I'm not into the point. I'm not to the point where I'm doing a proper sharpening on my tools. So I don't really need anything this specialized. So this will be an eBay item. So I'm not sure exactly how this works, but somehow you're supposed to use this assembly here to make sure that this gets set so it's at the perfect angle, so that when you take this and you put it, I want to scratch this up, but you know, pretend this is my honing stone, that I would be getting a perfect angle as I'm going across the stone, your oil stone. Oh, aha, just had an aha moment. Alright, so here we go. I'm concentrating on these angles on the top here, and this is the angle that, the way it's set right now, would be the angle that you'd be dealing with. So this goes in here like this. So you slide this through here. So put this in like this. Alright. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull and rotate this cam device once. Okay, so the 30 doesn't seem like it's a acute enough an angle, so
I mean, it's a cute angle, but it's just not that cute. Okay, so I'm going to flip this around to 20. I think this might be...
Well, it's between 20 and 30. So, we'll try 25. So, flip the block over. There we go. Perfect. Okay?
So what I did was I selected the angle that allows this flat right here to sit flat on the, if this was a stone surface, when this flat right here is up against the back of this angle here. I don't know if that's, hopefully that's all coming through on the camera. Alright, so I'm just using this, I'm simulating this as the surface of my honing stone, so now that I've got this set, you can see it when I put it down every time, I'm getting the perfect angle as I go across the surface of the stone. And that's basically the gist of how the Veritas sharpening system works. That's pretty neat. So today I met up with the guy with the cutoff tool holder, and he apologized that he had forgotten he had been bringing in a lot of other stuff to get out on display, and he had forgotten to bring that from home. So I looked around, and this was my big buy today. I spent, well, actually I spent $2, but this was in a bin. These two items were in a bin full of junk marked 2 for $1. So basically 50 cents a piece. And this is actually what I wanted. This is just a little Allen wrench with a T handle on it, because I couldn't find anything else in the box that I was willing to pay 50 cents for. So, but this is a clamp. Clearly it was used when somebody's doing some welding. Got some splatter there, and it was probably longer maybe, and there's some really gnarly. This looks like it was welded onto something at some point, I don't know. But it occurred to me that if you can get over that ugliness right there, this is actually a nice quick clamp that I can use for the same purpose on a welding table or something like that. This is a genuine antique here, I think. This is the, this looks like it might say the Hartford Clamp Company. It looks like this is the Hartford Clamp Company on there. But 50 cents, the heck. And then I saw this whole stack of these stacked up. You can imagine these all nest on top of each other. I got 8 of them. They were all stacked up, and I didn't know what it was at first, and then quickly realized that they are Coca-Cola bottling company trays. All your bottles sitting here. So the idea, you fill this with bottles and you can stack them up for delivery or whatever. And no sooner did I ask what they were than the guy told me, you want them? $1 for all 8 of them. So I jumped on that, because what I'm going to use these for is, I've got a lot of steel shelving here down in the basement. I've been putting a lot of stuff on the steel shelves to get it up off of the floor and just out of the way. And what I'm discovering is my steel shelves are pretty deep. So let me show you. So this is the other end of the basement where I've been working on. I put in the new lights. Lighting's not so great right now because these are compact fluorescents, and I just fired them up, and it's cool down here. It's probably about 50 degrees or 55 degrees down here in the basement on this end. And I've been working over on this side. This is all the new insulations in on this side. I still have this end to do. And now that I've got the insulation in on the outside wall areas, I'm starting to put my shelving up into position and loading my shelves up. And you can see I just got a ton of stuff on here. Eventually I got to go through some of the stuff and get rid of it. But for the time being, I'm just putting a lot of stuff up on the shelves. And what I find is that these shelves are nice, but they're deep. They're about 24 inches deep. And lots of times you get small stuff that just kind of gets lost in the shuffle on the shelf there. And it would be nice to have these things that I picked up, which, let's see, I'm just going to sit on the shelf like that. And so now when I have stuff near the back, small things, slide it out, take a look at what I got in there. So that's the idea. Matter of fact, I've got this narrower shelf right here. I've got to put more cross spacing on it, so it's kind of off kilter right now. But this shelf, the shelves are a lot closer together. So I think I'm going to move this shelf over more towards the machinery. Use these shelves, the bigger ones down this end, for more just storage of larger items in that. And this shelf here more for the actual working equipment. But it looks like those are a perfect fit for these shelves. So I think that's where these will go. So there we go. There's the 8 that I got so far. And I'll probably end up scoring some more at some point. But this is actually a really good use for these. These were probably left out in the back of a convenience store somewhere and were slated to be thrown out, or I'm not sure how this guy ended up with them, but he was glad to get rid of them because he was tired of tripping over them in his little booth area there at the flea market. But even the wife had to admit that this was a good idea, you know, to repurpose these in this way. I mean, these things, unlike the plastic trays that I buy sometimes for, you know, the totes there you buy at the store, they get the shallow ones that would work on these shelves, but you can't do this. Probably be at the outside edge. Point is, I'm over 200 pounds, and that's holding me up. If they were solid-sided trays and didn't have these holes, they'd be perfect. Then I could load them with, you know, all kinds of stuff.